This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. 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 Every day, every way, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day and every way, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day and every way, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Won't let Satan puff it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan puff it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan puff it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine until Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank God for coffee. Let me get some more coffee. Kind of adds to the charm of me sitting here early in the morning making a video. So today's message is going to be letting your light shine. Now, instead of getting heavily into the scriptures, and I seldom do because this is the reason why people hate Christians. It's because of this. Not only because of this, but it's because of Christians interpreting this the wrong way. So when we crack into the Bible, we are very certain about the social laws back then, the context, the Hebrew, right, the laws of the land. So let's just speak from you having the light of the world. You're in a good mood, everything is going your way, you feel love in your heart, and people are really jealous of you. I've said this before in one of my teachings. When you smile at the world smiles back at you. I think that's the facts, and that's truthful. Well, when you do that within a friendship, and the friendship eventually goes sour because they decide they can turn on you because they're mentally ill, I want to help you people. When you're shedding the light on people and that happens to you, you must go on. You have to go forward. If it means block their number from calling you, that means that. So there's this fellow. He's goes in and out of crystal meth and shock rock, very funny. Loved him very much. Even though he's schizophrenic and he's mentally ill. It's not that I gave him a chance, it's that I generally liked him and I considered him my friend. When I meet people, I don't say, okay, I'm going to give them a chance. I am still pure in heart because I want to accept people on face value. They don't have to prove themselves from me. Until they do something wrong, then we confront them. But this fellow is not any different than all the other mentally ill people in this country. And I've been lecturing for a while, at least for a year and a half, wherever you can find my lectures, that if you treat people like they're mentally ill, you're going to get further along with them in life. Because people are sick. And if you acknowledge that with them, they're going to show you some respect. But somehow they still think, in this one case, the fellow from Indiana, that they can just go ahead and turn on me. So in some way I had to find a way to revamp my life because a lot of my day was surrounded by this fellow. We helped one another in many ways. It wasn't that I helped him, but he also helped me. We joked about substance abuse. We cried and laughed over the things that had been terribly done to us by family members. But in a gay culture, in our future, it's 2018, correct? We have educated gay men. We have men that know about gay law, gay democracy, gay lawyers, gay attorneys, gay civilian group lobbyists, gay policymakers, gay legislature, gay people on Congress, Senate. We have gay people across the spectrum of education, doctors, scientists, artists, and everybody has been focused to go ahead and live their dream. In some cases, I call it live your bliss. So engaging with a friend who has such mental illness, such as this fellow in Indiana, who had a problem with meth, he becomes very angry when he watches video games. He throws them across the room, the video games. He throws them against the screen of his TV and he breaks it. And his family, they still keep getting him all the goodies, but he still breaks things because he has an anger management problem. He also calls his mother a cunt in front of her, which is absolutely disrespectful. So when he cut me off and told me that he's writing me off, and told me to fuck off, I didn't know why, because I've done nothing wrong, except be his brother, his spiritual brother, and to be sweet to his mother, even though she's been very abused by him. But in no way how other times have been, but in no way this time could I taste any Hershey's chocolate in the air. His spirit was so sour because he's a sour puss. His mother loves him, gives him everything he wants. He still calls her names because he is what? He is spoiled rotten and he's a rotten puss. So in the Mr. and Mrs. Jackoff, hard, middle name is off. Mr. Jackoff Hard is the name. I thought I don't need a friend like this, even though it's shock rock. And the comedy between us is very dark and very humorous. I think his mother is crying out for a different type of personality from his son. And so it's meant to be that instead of fisting the shit out of my ass, not to let him even touch my vajayjay with his mind, with his thoughts, with his psyche, because he's a Satan fucker. He's a Satan fucking you with fire come up your butt. And his mother's crying out for an apology because he blames her for not having everything perfect. So he's very abusive, and he's in Indianapolis, Indiana, so he's a redneck. He's also a racist. But he's funny because the things he says is very funny that don't have to be racist. And there's no filtering out when you're dealing with the mental illness in people. It's about letting them express themselves from right where they're at and accepting them and loving them through that. And I've been able to do that. But I've expected too much from him, and I've expected for him to hold my hand because I'm willing to hold my breath. It's been 4 to 5 days since he's continuing to hang up the phone on me. So I'm trapped gas with abdominal exercises that I'm not quite doing. And the Research Foundation, the Tyler Hamilton Foundation, the research I'm doing is obviously about men, and my library with men's psychology books is all staffed to help men like this. So there's no reason why I cannot walk away from this. But it does hurt when friends are not being nice after you have what? Shed your light, this little light of mine that I sang. Maybe get some more coffee and drink so much coffee, because to me I feel like this is one of the most pivotal talks that I could give on YouTube as a result of somebody who lives with mental illness. He has understood things that I have gone through in the gay community having to do with pedophilic men that have molested me. And he also has someone, I think a registered sex offender, or someone in his family that went to prison. So on a very deep level, when it comes to deviant behavior and the criminal justice system, we really get along. The only issue is that he relapses on crystal meth, but I'm never there. So I'm just there for him to let me love on him and to forgive him quickly and to give him grace and mercy and just to get him up on his way, because Christ saves and Christ loves him. Let me get you another glass of water. Java, Tyler. In a moment. So, you know, ouch, that hurt. Stuck to my foot. You know, you could share your light with people, but it's up to them if they want to accept the light. It's really up to them. Now, you might be talking to somebody who has all of the cute, sweet ways to talk about crystal meth, Tina, party in place, skiing, being high in the sky, blowing clouds, white as Casper ghosts. It's really a cockfuck is what it is. Because I was counting on this person being somebody more than just, you know, a pill whore. I was hoping that somehow through my sobriety and my college of doctoral studies, I would inspire him to not necessarily go back to school because he has mental illness. He was bullied as a child. He was thrown up against the bathroom wall, and it did neurological damage to his brain. But I was hoping that he could at least see me as a correspondent of officers for him. That in the symphony of seas and nature and places that we can travel, on me, not asking for his money, it's all on me, that he could trust me and hopefully understand that it's more than a 7-day Mediterranean cruise with me, but it's actually something that has to do with loving your friend through good or for bad, white trash or not. Okay. still people are not welcome to love. And I don't understand when they have everything that they need, but they don't know how to be their own social alchemist. So, like the crucible, there's a holiness, a purity, a change, a purging out the heart. The crucible is a play. It's written by Shakespeare. Anything by Shakespeare always has the crucible, the fool, that you give him enough rope and he hangs himself kind of thing. Sort of like what's happening to Donald J. Trump. That is really the principle of social alchemy. I think that's the fine point that I want to make, is that when you are your own social alchemist, you understand that you are your own enemy to your own thinking. You have to take responsibility and create new pathways in your brain so that you can have positive thinking and no longer get sick, okay, physically or mentally ill. This person, pardon me, is allowed to do as much shock rock as possible. And I'm willing to love them through it. But they are not willing to see themselves as love because they hate a part of themselves, which is homosexual. This is why Tyler Lord Hamilton exists. He's getting the work done in Sweet Beverly. It's a safer global community and ethical, welcoming collective consciousness. I say this in nearly all of my talks. Becoming your own alchemist is the trending and is the